This is my audience, Sue and Sean. The purple pill. Do you know its name? If you said Nexium, then you're correct. And how did you know that? Probably from a television ad. Since 1997, television ads for prescription drugs have made it almost impossible to watch your favorite sitcom or sports event without being bombarded with promotions for drugs, which promise to cure everything from depression to impotency to heartburn. Based on my research and my concern for the messages these ads send to consumers, I am persuaded that the FDA should outlaw the advertisement of prescription drugs on television because of the cost of the advertising, which is passed along to the consumer, and the misinformation that these ads have. Let me first tell you the problem with advertising prescription drugs on TV. Direct-to-consumer, or DTC, advertising of prescription drugs on television increase the cost of drugs and misinform the public. Since 1997, when the FDA imposed new regulations allowing TV advertisement of prescription drugs, spending on the ads has gone up dramatically. According to Issues and Controversies, in 1991, $55 million was spent on DTC marketing, which was primarily in print ads like magazines and newspapers and flyers. By 1999, $1.85 billion was spent on drug ads in print and on TV. The result of this spending is increased sales, of course. In just 1 year, from 1999 to the year 2000, total prescription drug sales increased from $111 billion to $132 billion. Studies claim that the most heavily advertised drugs show the greatest increase in sales. For example, the makers of Vioxx, as reported in the CMA Journal, spent $161 million in advertising in 2000, which resulted in a quadruple sales of $1.5 billion. Other drugs, such as Prilosec and Lipitor, showed at least a 30% sales increase. Now, while advertising costs have increased, so have the drug costs. Clearly, advertising is all about profit. Drug companies are not using sales revenue to lower the cost of the drugs. The AMSA website notes that drugs generally become more expensive as they become advertised due to the advertising costs. More drug sales only contribute to higher drug consumption in our already over-medicated society. Television ads do not serve to educate the public on prescription drugs. The purpose of advertising is to sell, not educate. Quan Chang of the University of Rhode Island contends that physicians oppose the DTC advertising for reasons such as the public's inability to understand the complex medications or drug interactions that they don't get from these infomercials. Drug ads have stimulated demand for drugs that many citizens do not need. Senior citizens in particular are susceptible to these promotions. An AARP study asserts that older consumers are less likelier than their younger counterparts to notice the small print warning information. Now that we know the problem, let's see what should be done to fix it. Because of advertising costs and misinformation, the FDA should outlaw the advertisement of prescription drugs on TV. The high cost of advertising would be better spent on drug research. For example, the CMA Journal points out that the makers of Vioxx, Merck, had spent $161 million advertising that drug in the year 2000 alone. Think what that kind of money could do for cancer and diabetes research. Medical professionals should handle drug information also. Sidney Wolfe, the director of health research, argues that federal agencies must move more forcefully to replace tainted drug company education with scientifically based, useful information that will stimulate a better conversation between a doctor and a patient. The AMSA website notes that direct ads contribute little, if anything, to the welfare of the patients. While physicians are bound to protect patients, pharmaceuticals are market-driven. Several sources remark that advertising encourages the public to seek medicines that they may truly not need and may affect the physician-patient relationship adversely. Common sense tells us the side effects and drug interaction issues cannot be fully addressed in a 30 or 60-second ad and could greatly endanger a person's health. That person could be you or me, our parents, our children. In closing, let me remind you that the problem with advertisement of prescription drugs on television is the high cost of these ads and the misinformation that they contain. If you are as convinced as I am that they need to outlaw these ads on TV, please join me in contacting the FDA and voicing your opinion. You can contact them by going to www.fda.gov and submitting your comments or joining a petition. Remember, the purple pill may not be right for you or anyone in your family. You should consult with your doctor and not believe those television ads. We owe it to ourselves, our parents, and our children to take a stand and stop these ads today. Thank you for your time.